Recovery from the crash was slow but sure.
Anacortes has had many ups and downs, but the next up was probably the fishing industry, the fishing and canneries.
In the 1890s, fish processing plants began to move into the area. In 1891, a cod fishing plant was located here. In 1893, some salmon canneries came. Mills also moved into the area. So by 1896, the town had acquired a good financial footing based on the canneries and the mills.
Anacortes was starting to develop not as the New York of the West, but it became the Anacortes of the West.
Along Fidalgo Bay was the area where the mills were, and the area along Guaymas Channel is where the fish canneries were.
In 1900, there were 2 codfish plants and 6 canneries along Guaymas Channel. By 1915, 11 of the 41 salmon canneries in operation between Blaine and Olympia were located in Anacortes.
It just seemed like a natural place for the salmon canning industry. Easy to get things out of. Back in the early days, there were trains here, and you could ship stuff out by train. And
we were the salmon canning capital of Puget Sound. Had more canneries than any place else. And that was because we were centrally located to the fishing grounds. They were fish to the south of us, there were fish to the west of us, there were fish to the north of us. We were right in the middle of the fish.
They tried Seattle, they tried Everett, they tried Bellingham, but this was the central location from the fishing bank, so that's why they came here.
Essentially, 25% of all the canneries in the Puget Sound region, there were around 40-some canneries, 25% of them were in Anacortes.
Alaska Packers and Fidalgo Island Packers at Ship Harbor. There was Sebastian Stewart. There was Nacket. Of course, it wasn't called Nacket at that time. I think it was called Sanitary. There was Apex, PAF, that'd be Pacific American Fisheries. Lomans, which was, I think, Coast or White Crest. It changed names several times because he refinanced. There was Fish Pack, and there was Booth and Western, and I think that makes 10 or 11.
They claimed it was the largest fishing spot in the world, but other cities along the coast claimed the same thing. But it certainly was one of the most significant fishing areas in the world.
The white man's success came at the expense of the region's traditional fishermen.
It became a business for the non-Indian people, so the tribes start getting pushed further and further away from the fishing industry until we caught just a small portion of the salmon. They wanted to make farmers out of us. We were described as the Indian problem. What are we going to do about the Indians, you know?